When Aboriginal people connect, we explain who we are so that we can align whose line or whose lineage do you come from, and we make that connection. So when you're looking at the Baha'i faith, Islam, they're actually bloodly related family, and that's how we look at the world as well as a one human family.
The significance of the exhibition today is more around just sharing with the wider community Dad's vision in sharing Aboriginal or First Nations perspective of the Baha'i faith and how they relate spiritually. So the role that art plays is that within our culture, it's part of our practice on sharing story.
So you have different forms of art. You can have contemporary art and you can have art from a traditional perspective where you'll see that there's knowledge and a transfer of knowledge been passed down from one generation to the next. And that's through the traditional ideal of art and how songs and stories are passed on through those artwork. And then you have contemporary, which is an interpretive sort of a process and approach to saying, well, this is my dream time, but this is the way I see it, sort of thing. So you've got those two different processes that can be displayed at the same time. It's interesting because when you go back to traditional law and culture, you look at those artworks and you think, oh, that tells a story. So any artwork that you see is, oh, that tells a specific story. And then you can read that artwork and say, oh, I know that story. Yeah, I remember that story.
Well, this one is
The Divine Light Tree.
yeah, Dad watched Dad paint this one too. In Billaluna there, Grosvenor. And it explains about the divine light tree, but also the the blood relationship and lineage that comes all the way from Abraham. Have differences between all the religions and that, but they all forgetting one common ancestor of those religions, which is all come back there and explains that they all bloodly related, all one big family, you know.
One of the most interesting things about today's and the exhibitions are some of the paintings on display usually have a story that's associated with them. One of the stories that I'll share is from the painting of the Progressive Revelation. Now, what's interesting about that painting is when my grandfather did it, so he started this creation, he had to design it. The problem was he had to try to explain a story. He had to try to explain the Baha'i faith to these non-illiterate Indigenous elders.
They have the ability to see straight through you and see your spirit properly. And what they saw was that they saw that Dad was holding something, and it was the spirit of the Baha'i faith. And I said, oh, he's holding something there. So each day come up to him and asked him, oh, you got something to share, tell me. He said, yeah, but I don't know how to tell you yet.
He sat down one night and said, oh, this is the way to explain it. And so the Progressive Revelation painting, one of the paintings that's up there, that painting in particular was designed and then painted and then given to those old people so that they can explain, I guess, the faith.
He rolled out the painting and said, look, this is the message here that I wanted to share with you. And they said, oh, we've been waiting for this.
Instead of my grandfather explaining what the painting represents, they explained what the painting represents to them. Because as you can see, they knew what the painting was. They can see the story, they can see the details, they can see everything there. And they said, well, this is the ancient cycle, this is the old ways, and this is the old law, and this is the new cycle. Now they're walking one and hand in hand and going forth into the future. So that's one of those paintings that's involved inside the artworks there today. Yeah.
It was through Dad's story as a young man in his youth, reviving his law and culture. So it was through that process that he had come across the Baha'i faith. So it's sort of been through a spiritual process that the ancestors had sort of set a path for Dad. It's been about 3 years now that Dad has been gone, nearly 4 in September. And so he's put that responsibility on me and my nephew to take on and to keep, I guess, our purpose going.
We are one, flowers of one garden. We are one, leaves of one tree. Let the walls come down, stand here together. We are one family. Thank you. I truly believe in all the creation of God. Why I said that because we are all connected. And that's the unity in life. Every creation of God is connected. Kairu Sir Damili, He made all these things for us, all this creation. In the heavens, on the earth, and in the sea. And when you look at all these connections, we all one. One of the form of knowledge of storytelling is an art, is a form of art as well. And I always encourage people younger than me or whoever I'm speaking with, because I myself is very, very close to the elders. I've got a 97-year-old aunt who adopted me 10 years ago, and she's still playing the ukulele. And by going and visit her every time, I'm asking the question where I couldn't ask my mom or my grandmother, and I'm so proud to do that. That's what I'm trying to encourage the young people in my community. That's when I say my community, not even TI, but the whole of Torres Strait. I talk to anybody. Please don't, you can ask questions to gain your knowledge. And if you stuck it with anything, we are here too for, to help you in that way. Very powerful, powerful God. Sasri.